Hi, this is John from FundKing.com, and here we have another in our video series, and this one is a look over my shoulder type of video to help you understand how to make best use of our latest feature in the website. So in this video we're going to look at the Portfolio Select and the Portfolio Management applications in the website. Now, just a quick reminder, these features are only available to our Gold and Silver members. The application here actually chews up a lot of real resources that we do have to pay for. Now, how do we get to the Portfolio Select feature? If you look up here, the second tab will take you right there, and I already have it up obviously, so I won't be clicking it. When you click, the website will pull in your portfolio, which is stored on our database, and calculate the most recent data. There are some instructions here at the top that will give you some guidelines and remind you of how to do things. When you input tickers in the boxes, try to leave blank spaces if you have less than 20 tickers that you want to evaluate. Try and leave those blank spaces at the end of the list. The program should do this automatically, but we have had cases where it didn't work quite as anticipated and it gave some unusual results. Also, if you pick assets with less than 1 year of trading data, say for example it's a new listing, or perhaps it was suspended for a period of time, say more than a month during the year, please be aware that the readings for that asset may be inaccurate and may throw off the ranking for that asset. Now, the next thing you want to do here is you want to set the number of assets that you would like to hold at all times. You can select to hold between 2 and 5 assets. We'll get back to the tweaking calculation method in a moment. Now, the chart up here is a simple 5-year backtest of your portfolio. The red line represents what would have happened if you used the asset universe in my portfolio and followed the weekly ranking recommendations. The yellow line represents the return if you had held equal weightings of each of the assets. Now, since transaction costs vary widely between assets, brokers, and locations, we have not included those fees in the calculation. Transaction costs can be a significant drain on investment performance, so you should seek out a good balance between service and fees when selecting a broker and before entering into any sort of trading system. Now, the purpose of the chart here, besides being a 5-year backtest, is also to determine whether your particular universe benefits from using the FundKing system. If your assets are too closely correlated, switching between them logically will not produce the meaningful excess return opportunities that the FundKing system is looking to exploit. Okay, next let's look at the current rankings. This table shows which assets the system recommends. Those above our holding threshold, as you can see, we've picked 3, are the assets that we want to hold. Now, say if in the coming weeks EPI were to jump into the top 3 at the expense of, say, EWH, what we would do is we would sell the EWH and use the proceeds to buy the EPI, looking to hold about 1/3 of our assets in each of the 3 ETFs. Now, the recent performance over here is another type of backtest to show you what the system recommended 3 months ago. Why 3 months? It's far enough away that it seems significant, and yet it's close enough that most of us can easily recall the market conditions 1 quarter ago. Now, with the volatility that we expect over the next few years, the market conditions are very apt to change from quarter to quarter. The other thing one can glean from this table and matching it with this table is the amount of turnover that you're likely to see in this portfolio. In this case, you can see that we've had a total 100% turnover in the assets. So that may or may not be appropriate for you. Now let's just go down here and we'll look at the tweaking. Now the tweaking number in general when you first start should be left at 0 for most portfolios. However, some mutual family funds do impose early withdrawal fees, usually a 60 or 30-day threshold. So one can slow down the calculation by adding 1 or 2, just by clicking up here. Alternatively, we do have some clients who prefer to use stocks and are quite active traders. If you input a -1 or a -2, that will make the system a bit more sensitive to shorter term volatility and will likely lead to more frequent trading. Okay, now let's turn our attention to the portfolio management feature. And we'll just click there and we'll jump over here. Okay, that's ready to go. On this page, you're actually reading and writing to the database, so we need to follow a few protocols to keep things from getting messed up. Now, one can only add new tickers in the My Current Portfolio column. But notice that unlike on the Portfolio Select page, you have to delete the ticker first by hitting an X before you can add a new one. Now, once you have the assets that you want to evaluate, you simply go back to the Portfolio Select and see how it pans out. You can do this as often as you like, as many times as you have patience. Now, what we recommend is that once you have your portfolio that you put in here, is that you save it as Portfolio 1 or Portfolio 2. That way you don't have to keep typing things back in and you can go back and see how things worked out. If you go up here, you'll see Portfolio 1 and Portfolio 2 are our personal ones. If you see Portfolio 3, Portfolio 4, and Portfolio 5 are some of the recommended portfolios that we've been using to pretty good success with other clients. We will be changing these on a periodic basis to help introduce new ideas and as quite frankly we get better concepts going on. And what we'll try and do is add in a bit of a description below here, besides just Vanguard Portfolio, that will give you an idea of what the portfolio universe is designed to achieve in our minds. You may find it's a little bit different. You can also send a ticker from any one of your 5 portfolios to your active My Portfolio column. Now let's try that right now. For example, I have silver here, and maybe I want to change that to gold. Now the first thing I'll do here is I'll remove that ticker, so silver disappears, and I can copy over gold just by adding that ticker. So you can see that gold has been added to the bottom. I apologize, that may not have come through. Now you can copy one, or you can copy a whole portfolio. So let's go over to Portfolio 2, and this is my SPDR Subindex ETF portfolio, and let's just say copy all, and that will copy all of them in. I hope this introduction gives you a good start on getting going with the Portfolio Select and the Portfolio Management feature. If there was an area that was unclear, please leave a comment or send us an email at john@fund-king.com. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope this helps you with your investment going forward.